Hello, and welcome back to Dancing with the Devil. I am Master Kjarl O'Larlandine the First, and I will be your storyteller from the Dreamscape Storytelling Guild. And this is my player.
Hello, my name is Gimmick, and I will be playing Lord Voltaire Cassalanter. I once chased down Franz Ferdinand with his own goat collection. I took him in a little glass vial, and I opened that little cork, and a bunch of goats poured out, and I said, "Be free, my children." And they stomped him to death. And then that's how I caused World War Zero. Ooh, prequel.
Um, um, I would like, of course, to give special thanks to the people providing our music. Vinsvept has allowed us to use his music for free. Go check him out on YouTube and Bandcamp. And then Shane Ivers has their music in the public domain, and that is a real cool thing to do. Check them out at silvermansound.com. Our story tonight is from Dancing with the Devil, Chapter 1, Devil's Demon Slayer. It is primarily inspired by the song, When You're Evil by Voltaire.
Oh, I love that one. I think that was my first Voltaire song. That was my introduction to the guy.
Would not be surprised. It's a very popular one by him. Okay.
Call me basic. How dare you?
Shortly after becoming the head of the Cassalanter family, due to his parents' respective death and incapacitation about a year ago, Voltaire donated the liquidated assets of the Cassalanter Banking Guild to the Temple to the Pantheon of Lythander in Waterdeep, and to the Crusades of a man who the city is heralding as a saint of cleansing. Once Voltaire had nothing but favors, he called them in, and positioned himself as the guild lord of a new up-and-coming Cassalanter entertainment. Cassalanter planted its foot in the door of the city by bringing legitimacy to Waterdeep's newest yet oldest sport, and brought Waterdeep wrestling entertainment. Cassalanter founded one of the three major rosters which embraced the narrative theatrics of the noble side of the sport, and began telling the broad strokes backstory and story of, as well as raising money for saints. Now it is the 12th of Flame Rule 1492, the day before Beatrix and Dante's 9th birthday. Business is dealt with and their gifts are already handled, though Beatrix had bought them without permission. 8 cat-sized dragons easily fulfill the quota. And all that is left is the celebration. Last year was a bit extravagant, dangerous, and cost the guild a pretty penny, and cost Nim's patience. This year, a simple feast of treats and a quiet day together seem best. Voltaire, you are out running errands. Specifically, buying pastries for tomorrow. Though, um, though Jasper could whip something up, there is something a bit more special about getting the catering out from the trade ward. As the workshop doesn't exactly, or the windmill, doesn't exactly have the best of kitchens, and doesn't feel quite right to host the birthday back at the villa. So, you are heading through the dock ward to find a good catering business. And as you are currently in the vehicle, with no one but your reflection for company, you making your way downtown. Driving fast. Probably not, actually, because you're driving.
Yeah. I think Voltaire definitely has my issue with driving, in which we have perpetual grandma foot, where we're not he's not entirely sure when he's like putting the engine at the right thing, so he has to keep like checking the speedometer. It's like, oh, okay, like 10 below speed limit, my bad. Oh wait, there are no speed limits.
No, there aren't.
Oh.
Speed limits don't exist anymore.
Oh,
Anymore? Yet.
That's like a 10-foot gap between me and that other car. I probably should move it forward. It's fine. Oh, good. I'm thinking pies.
Pies work well.
Pies work well, and I think, you know what? I'll also get a cake though. Should I get one of each? Should I get them their own individual? Because I don't know. They already share a birthday. Do I want them to have to share the same type of dessert? What if there's a half cake, half pie, like it's bisected down the middle?
What if we got a single cake?
Yeah.
And then 7 pastries? Because of the dragons.
For the dragon.
Maybe a single pie.
Dude.
One big thing and 7 small ones.
I don't know what they eat. I thought there were 8 dragons.
8 in all, but the 1 fairy dragon and the 7 pseudo.
So the fairy dragon is sharing with one of the pseudo dragons.
No.
The fairy dragon is getting a whole cake?
Not the if we're gifting, I'm gifting the fairy dragon to Beatrix, because that's the one that she likes the most, and then the 7 pseudo dragons, because they're not as unique, we're gonna go to Dante.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So, in the same way, we could get 1 special cake for Dante, and then 7 not as special cakes. Or pastries. For Beatrix. Balance it out.
I think that's a good idea.
Of course it's a good idea. I came up with it.
Yeah, I did come up with it, yes. Now I need to think of 7 different flavors of pie. Let's see, there's it's flame roll now, so what's in season? That's like berries, berry pie.
Well, perhaps we should just go to the bakery and see what we can find there. Rather than trying to think of it along the drive.
Do
Do
they have good berry pie? Does that work?
Are you doing passive, driving?
Yeah.
What is your passive driving?
Great question. What ability score would that be under again? I forget. Was that? Did we say
It
that's
would be. That's actually a fair point. Probably. Maybe
Oh,
wisdom.
my driving right now is 12, so +1. So with a passive, would we
What do
put
you mean
that
your
at 11?
driving is 12?
That's what it's written here. I
That's
think we said
not.
that.
Driving is not a score.
No, I know. That's why I'm confused.
You
okay,
have half proficiency in it, so you have +1. Maybe 12 is supposed to be the passive?
maybe. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Okay, because
it's right
yeah.
under honor.
I'm gonna
and
say,
shame.
like, if you're driving more slowly, it would kind of be like a wisdom driving, because you're just kind of going more slowly about it and trying to be more aware.
Then let's say that my passive driving is 12, so that it's higher than what is that?
No, it would be your wisdom modifier plus 10 plus half your proficiency.
Plus half.
Because you're a jack and driving.
Right. So half of 1 is round.
No, your proficiency bonus should be 2 at level 3.
Okay.
I think it's at level 5, it changes to +3 or a d6, depending.
Right. And I've technically got 5 levels now, but I've been screwy with the character sheet. And
wait, you have 5 levels? Wait.
Yeah.
I thought you had 4.
No, I've got
whatever.
5.
It doesn't matter because you're not leveling up until the story catches up with you.
Yeah. That's exactly why. Yeah.
But I mean, if it's all in one class, then you'd have it, like, proficiency bonus is based off your class.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, then +2.
Yeah, so
proficiency, normal proficiency is +2, so it's a +1 to 10. So my passive driving is 11.
Good, cool. Glad we figured that one out.
Great.
Okay.
My second highest passive skill. Underneath a 12.
Technically, all of your skills can have passives.
Yeah, I forgot.
So, okay, yeah, nothing happens along the drive as you head to the pastry shop.
Great.
As you're kind of driving down the street, you kind of are seeing, like, various like bulk order like catering shops kind of thing. And then you continue driving past. You're going to a bakery, a pastry shop that you're familiar with, one that has catered your entertainment guild venues before. You pull up in front of Gurgle Pastries.
Gurgle Pastries.
Gurgle Pastries. Yes.
Gurgle Pastries. Hey, man. Only the best for my wrestlers.
As yeah. There is the
Wow, look at it all.
there, yeah, it's you see the front is like larger windows, and out the back you can see like the smokestack of ovens that are very clearly currently active. The front has both an awning and the windows are painted with it appears to be mundane paint. Would signify that it's not exactly one of the most expensive places. Whereas a lot of places will simply have magical paint that you can completely see through it on the other side, or it's animated in some way. It is technically illegal to have paint that like casts suggestion when you walk by, but
eventually some people figured out you can just paint it red.
There are occasional scandals that happen of the sort. So
Ooh, I like it.
You also see just inside that window, working on a display, there is someone who is decorating a cake. They're clearly decorating it, and decorating it might even be a soft term. Perhaps a better term would be sculpting a cake. As they are, they're essentially, it's this fancy cake that is, at the moment, kind of abstract. It looks like maybe it's the kind of base layers. You can still see cake in parts, and she's kind of, and this elven, this wood elfin woman, or perhaps girl, looks maybe mid-late adolescence, probably late adolescence even, is essentially molding fondant to it, and one thing that's also kind of notable, completely practically. They're not using magic to cast, they are, like, doing traditional, like, sculpting with the cake. Yeah, and that's what you can see from the outside. There is, like, a stand, that's, like, what the specials are and whatnot, just kind of listing various things. Advertisement for come, like, we'll cater for your events kind of thing.
Yeah. Fantastic. I am going to go in, I think.
Yeah. You head inside, and inside there are various people working. There's a good number, most of them are, like, late adolescents. There's a few workers that are older than that, but most of the workers in the front of this shop are late adolescents to, well, just somewhere in their adolescence even. Behind the counter stands a green and red humanoid tree frog.
Great.
Who is wearing they're like wearing a frilly apron, and some more kind of working clothes, the sleeves rolled up to be able to manage things. The pastries are lined up along the in the glass counter with the pastry shelves, display cases. The back wall is covered in pastries as well to be sold, cakes and pastries all over the shop. There's like actually, like, working in, like, the front shop, there's only the elf girl and this Bollywog. behind the counter, which you, I'd like you to actually make a history check. Or an intelligence saving throw. I'll allow either.
Right. Let's see. History. There you are. It's the same either way. I'll do history. Okay. That is 21 plus 2.
Okay, yeah. You do remember this Pollywog's name. This is Burglegurp. She is the owner of this establishment and, does, directly participate in the catering. Did you roll an intelligence saving throw or a history check?
That was history.
History? Okay. You also would know, it was a 21 you said?
Yeah.
Okay, you would also know that Burglegurp has a kind of little known, like whispers of a past. It would be... Okay, what circles have you, been spending more time in? Have you spent the most time in, like, actually fully socializing? Would it be, like, socialites circle? Kind of like nobles and whatnot, which we've seen more of in game. The like around the dock ward, or more with like the movers and shakers, the people who rock the boat, kind of thing. Like kind of dissonant could qualify. Not necessarily like full like rebels, but like who speak their mind about what they are.
What their intent?
Yeah, about what they're into.
Okay, yeah. Truth be told, I think Voltaire's a little intimidated by the socialite circle. I think that's why he's only been to so many parties before.
Okay.
So, you know, he's a young guy. He's still trying to like put together who he is. So I think he'd like to be around the movers and shakers.
Okay, yeah.
Where he can.
So to be clear, this is very like surface level that you've spent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly just scandal and gossip would be what you kind of have heard.
Makes sense.
But you would have heard a rumor that Burglegurp was involved during the fireball at Troll Skull Alley incident, where a nimble right that was created by Nim set off an explosion at Troll Skull Alley. And you would know, there's rumors about her either working with the nimble right or chasing the nimble right. Rumors that like maybe she was like involved in the criminal stuff going on. Maybe she was involved with the Moonstar vigilantes, who are also criminals, but just like ones that do good. So that's kind of like, you would have that kind of vague rumor that you would have heard, but no sort of substantialness about it. But yeah, as you kind of come in, she looks up at you. Oh, hello. Welcome again. Been a while, Voltaire?
It has been.
Notices your hand. Oh, I see why it's been a while. Well, what can I get for you today?
Well,
You
I'm
needing
hoping,
catering for another show?
not for a show, but I will need some catering. Maybe also your advice on this. You see, my children, they have a birthday coming up tomorrow. And I'm hoping to children as in younger siblings that I watch over. Not
All right.
I am not I have not sired younglings or anything like that. That's not what I mean. That's too much information. I'm looking to birthday cake and also some pies. Little pies that would like
Birthday cake. You mean a cake for just a cake for a birthday, right?
Yes.
All right.
Do you not,
Yeah, we have plenty of cakes.
do you not put events in front of
And
like 'cause,
reminder, as prior discussed, birthday cakes do not exist. That's not a tradition.
yes.
Yes, we can.
that, but I'm rolling with it.
We can
Oh,
do that.
I know. I've been trying. I thought it's what people say. Like when I go for an event, I order a wrestling cake, things like that. Have you not? I swear, descriptive for like specific events is gonna take off. Some like in more circles, definitely. Anyway, what would you
I often
recommend?
hear more about an assortment of pastries, actually. As
What
it
was
tends to. An assortment of pastries. Vary for the entire event. Rather than having a single thing that everyone must enjoy. That seems a bit odd, though, by all means.
That is also an idea.
Decorative
Oh, good.
cakes. It's easier to make a sculpture, for instance, than with a pie.
Yes, I noticed the sculpture that's been happening over there. What is going on? That is gorgeous.
Yes, that is going to be something, I'm sure. Sarma is the elf making it. She's an absolute talent.
Absolutely, my gosh.
You do actually notice the wood elf is wearing kind of slightly it's wearing largely normal clothes except kind of an out of place colorful sash that
Do I recognize?
go ahead and make a history check.
Cool. Let's see. That's a 2 plus 6 for an 8.
Nope, you do not recognize it. You do not
Must be
understand what that is. What that is representing.
Yeah. Ah. Neat. Colors. I like those.
They are lovely.
Yeah. Anyway. Ah. I don't. A decorative. Do you have types of cakes and or pies that are normally popular with like young children, like turning 9 years old, anything like that?
Well, we often have cupcakes. Those tend to go well. Controlled portions and whatnot.
Ooh, that's also a very good idea. Oh, goodness me, I didn't even...
Also, box cakes. Box cakes are popular.
What
Also
is a
called
box
cage cakes occasionally. It's a cake that you put something else in. Normally, you don't eat the cake because the thing bursts out through the cake. But it's a wonderful surprise.
What would you put in a cake? Would you put a
Well,
small
for a
cake in it?
It normally is some kind of a gift or surprise. When it comes to gnomes, we've sometimes put like a family member that's been gone for a while, or we put a pet. Various things. Some sort of gift.
Huh.
Often. Mobile, mostly. I do believe we've made plenty for The Day of Wonders, where automatons were put within.
Wow. That is... fascinating.
Really, we just make the cake, and you put whatever in it you want.
That is very interesting. I don't think I need to do that right now. They already know what their gift is. It's already flying all over the house.
Well, we have cupcake arrangements. She gestures over to some cupcakes, and you see someone who you didn't manage to spot before. But now that you're at the counter, you see behind the counter a small blue tiefling, wearing a cute dress, who is currently decorating a cupcake with like a vibrant blue frosting. The cupcake itself, it is, like, kind of amber in color, just like a roasted vanilla kind of thing, with, some sort of blue, like, purple swirling color in it, as well as, like, blue dots that perhaps are some kind of berry.
Ooh. That is beautiful.
Thank you!
Goodness, what kind of cupcake is that?
Blueberry.
Blueberry cupcake.
Yeah. She runs off.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. She alright?
It's alright.
Was that did I?
She's fine. Just that's normally all she'll say.
I mean, I can't blame her. I'm a tall guy with a beard and mustache. That's a frightening thing for small children.
If you say so.
I don't know. It's been the case so far. Anyway.
You,
Wait.
we can definitely get, we can make an assortment of cupcakes, assortment of pastries, pie, cake, what have you. Whatever you wish.
Goodness,
Whatever you wish.
Oh, good. Oh, this is... Now, this... Saying this out of character, I need to... Famously, Voltaire has not been good at noticing anything. Would he happen to know what flavors of sweets the kids prefer? Or at least an idea.
Okay.
I know this is a difficult question because the players aren't here to ask them.
Make a insight.
Oh, great. Am I good at that?
I'm going to say...
I have a look at that.
I'm gonna say disadvantage.
Yeah, that figures. I expect nothing less. 14 plus 2. 16. Sorry, the other one wasn't 19, so I got 7.
Yes, you have a relatively good guess.
Okay. I guess that I asked for that.
Yeah.
So.
You order the various things. Unless there's anything specific that you want to order, we're just going to say that things are bought.
I mean, You know what? No. That's fine. I was gonna ask for like something written on the things in icing, but I can just write a card. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Am I left-handed? Oh, I just said. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Which hand are you missing? Because I lost one on that.
I'm missing the right hand because that's what I gesticulate with most of the time.
Yeah. Then I mean, you're probably missing your hand. You're probably missing your dominant hand.
Yeah. I gotta order a prosthetic or something, or make my own. Make that out of forks too. It'll be a grand time. Yeah, I guess with the order set,
Yeah.
Good to go.
As you are kind of wrapping up your order and she's kind of writing things down, she's just making small talk with. I hear it right. Your support of the Crusades have been a little bit more than simply donating show income to them.
Yes, they're I've I've been it's a worthy cause of protecting the city, and I want to do my part to support that cause and help those I can,
How have you ever encountered moments when your stage persona as the villain contradicts your public persona? Or are you much of a public figure at all?
Oh, I don't know about being a public figure. I don't the stage really is the easiest place to blend in for me. I don't know if I could have a public persona, but if I did, I'd do it expertly.
Shows have missed you the past 10 days. Though, that, replacement stage manager you got it's quite good.
Are they? I'm glad. Glad to hear that. Hey, what's she talking about?
Your reflection is not here.
No, I'm asking you. Did I
Me?
hear word for this?
Yeah, no, you've never heard of a replacement stage manager.
Great. That's fine. I'll just go with it.
Or ringmaster.
Yeah. No, I have to ask. Just because I like to hear the opinion of the people and those in audiences or what have you. Any favorite moments, anything stand out that I can give personal compliment for? Because I like to make sure that when I have the information, I give it to them.
It was very fun. There was a single thing she said that really caught the imagination of the audiences. I think it was that she was the misfortune to your surprise. Wonderful wordplay. I'm sure taken from sim literature, but stunning. Worked great.
I will pass that along to her. That is wonderful to hear. That fantastic. Yeah. To think, what else do people
Yeah.
do in small talk? I don't
know. She wraps up. Well, where would you like it delivered to?
Right here, and I write down the address.
Okay, and the time?
The time. What's a good time? Probably let's see. If it's around lunchtime, then that gives the whole evening to fully enjoy the rest of it. So 1300.
That'll work. We'll prepare it that morning.
No rush either way. If you need extra time, that's totally fine. I completely understand. You people are busy people.
Well, that should be everything.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
A wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you. Go back to the car.
Yeah. As you go back to the car, yeah, go back to the car and can take a seat.
I'm gonna check the mirror, my reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Your reflection in the back seat. What?
When did we get a new ringmaster? What happened?
New ringmaster?
That's what I just heard about. You know, some lady, the misfortune to your surprise. I don't. Is that a stage name? Is that?
It just sounds like a
I don't know.
fancy talk more than anything.
Okay. Who cleared that? Who cleared for a I mean, obviously they
No
need a
one but
replacement.
I could.
No. When this could have happened, I thought it would have. I don't
Must have happened
do
while I was out for a 10-day.
do business dealings and like would something like having a replacement ringmaster be something that would usually be like run by me, or just uh am I just holding
Well,
back?
considering that ringmasters aren't all important for wrestling rosters, at least not by the precedent that the Bazaar and Triumph have set,
I suppose.
sure, the Divine Comedy's been a bit more narrative-driven, but still, a single 10-day shouldn't require a replacement.
That's what I'm saying. What? How many?
Do you happen to
shows-
ask a name?
No.
Well, what woman can you think of that has reason to jump at an opportunity in your entertainment?
Let's see. There was that Natalie, but that she did. Her family was the previous owners of the entertainment guild, but she said she didn't have interest in it. So that's that's the only lead I got. Baby, I don't know. She did have like a dramatic air about her. That was kind of her whole deal.
She apparently did care enough to cover for you, at least to make sure you didn't die in your sleep.
She did. That's still weird. Do I have more errands to do today?
Should be good. A few, but we could make time to head to the ring to... I think that there might be a show happening soon.
Okay. Maybe it's time I stop by the show then. I did want to also pick up some new clothes for the twins. Something they can trade off whenever they want. Because it seems like Rix doesn't like some of her dresses. Anyway,
Certainly something I could do as well.
it is. For now, I think it's. Yep, curiosity is taking the best of me. It's showtime. Let's see it. I'd like to go to where that.
Yeah.
That's just the entertainment guild happens. Excuse me.
Yeah, as you head off, you drive towards the entertainment, to the Cassalanter Entertainment Guild Hall. And unless you have another destination to go to. And as you are heading there, you drive up in front of the guild hall, and You own the place. You do. Currently a bit of a this building is a bit of a smaller building. It's currently a single-story building. That was given to you courtesy of the Field of Triumph after you called in one of your favors.
Yo, such cool. Yes. I would. Into that.
Yeah, you walk in. You own it.
Yeah, you own it.
You walk in, and there's a receptionist area, a lobby, with a receptionist currently working.
Who usually holds the fort down when who holds down the fort when I'm not?
Are you asking the receptionist that?
No.
Well, Jasper handles business things. Jasper, being the butler, is also not just like is kind of like head of estate kind of things. So, he kind of they double as your secretary.
Okay, interesting. Great. I guess I go to receptionist. Hello, would Jasper happen to be around at the moment, or are they out?
The half orc woman looks at you and kind of cocks her head. I'm not entirely certain who Jasper is, sir.
All right, that really usually helping to hold down the fort in the area. Looks like metal is. No, all right, that's perfectly fine.
Generally, the matters needing the guild lord attention are sent through letters to your personal office.
Right. Yes, they are. Thank you for reminding.
Is there anything I can do for you here?
You know what? Let me get back to you on that. I will let you know. I'm gonna head away. Do I have a personal office here? Is that, or did she mean like at the workshop?
I mean, there would be like the guild lord's office in the guild hall, yes.
Okay.
But I mean, you haven't really ever seen Jasper away from the like, Jasper spends the majority of his time at the workshop. Right? He's the butler of the workshop. He is the master of that estate. Yeah.
Got it.
So he's a master of anything that's your estate. Whereas the other butler, who has a name,
Thieves?
No, that's not a butler. Yeah. He's a hand and foot. Crowell. Mr. Crowell.
Right.
Mr. Crowell handles the Cassalanter estate. The Entertainment Guild and the workshop are under your name, or under Voltaire estate. So that's why Jasper handles those. Like, the letters that go there, he handles unless they require your attention. Or they handle, I should say.
Yeah,
They handles.
I've got rid. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, trying to think. This is a
What did
fun.
you come here for in the first place?
I wanted to find out who the. I wanted confirmation on who the current ringleader
Okay.
replacement is. So
So, the receptionist did say, "Can I help you with anything?"
yes, and I did say let me get back to you on that. So I'm gonna walk
Yeah.
right back to the desk. It's
Okay.
like I remember what I was going to ask.
Good, good. How can I help?
The ringmaster that's been standing in the last 10 day. What is her name again?
Let me check. Looks through some paperwork. A certain gent Natalie Mostley.
Okay, fantastic. How do you spell that
Supposed.
last name again? Hello. Did that question not
Yes?
come through?
No, it didn't.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. How do you spell that name again? I for
Oh. Um. Uh,
M-O.
well, it's Natalie
Mm-hmm.
Moastly.
S-T-L. Natalie Mosley.
Mostley.
Mosley. Okay.
Yeah. I believe that's how I've heard the name pronounced before.
Okay.
It's interesting. Mostly. No, it's not my place.
What was it?
Don't mind me. I'm here to
Oh,
help.
come on. No, I want to know. Like if you think there's some...
It's just strange. Mostley doesn't tend to be a high noble name, and the records have heiress to the Mostley estate. Something. She was I mean, I don't have her full file, but what's written here is that she's heiress to a lordship, perhaps, or in a guild, which would imply high noble. Well, I don't. Mostly just silly coincidence.
Yeah. Well, you know. Yeah, information's information. Do we happen to know who brought her on board? How she managed to get...
I don't have that information here. Would you like a key to the records office?
That would be fabulous. Yes.
She grabs a key ring, hands it to you. This has the keys for all of the doors in the building, and this kind of flips through the keys. This one is to the records room.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Of course. Anytime.
Thank you. Sorry, could you point me to where the records room is again? It's been a long time.
Of course, yes. The records room would be just through that door, and it is the third door to the right.
Third door to the right. Okay, thank you very much. And I head off.
Yeah. You head off, and you get to the door.
Interacting
it is locked.
with receptionists is terrifying in fiction too. Ah,
The door's locked.
right. Key.
Yeah. You unlock the door,
Well, wonders never cease.
and
Open the door.
okay.
Yeah, no, I unlocked
Yeah.
the door and said, well, it's been a job well done. Now go home and sleep.
Yeah. You head on in. This room is basically just filled with filing cabinets. It appears that with the gift that the Field of Triumph gave you, they didn't exactly give you the like biggest entertainment guild. Like, this is the like ground floor for a guild hall that there really is. All of these are entirely paper things. There doesn't appear to be like a magical location system or anything like that. It's just straight up, hopefully, Dewey Decimal.
Okay. Well, you know, beggars can't be choosers. But I'm rich. Whatever. I'm gonna try Dewey Decimal and
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check. Intelligence investigation.
named after that famous gnome, Dewey Decimal, who first organized books. Okay, so that's a what was that event? Investigation?
Intelligence investigation, yes.
Okay, that's gonna be a 12. 10 plus 2.
Okay. Yes. You're looking through, and you kind of like look through like some staff files and trying to find things. It's about a half an hour later. You have not found anything. You have not found anything about a Natalie Mostley. There are a lot of frickin' names here, random carnies, people who did a job for you once while setting up. There's a bunch of, like, people who were from the, there were people from, the Field of Triumph that, like, basically just came, set things up, and left, and their files are in here. There are, you do find, like, you find a file about a, advocate who, was one of the major advocates between, when the Eachtar Vistani Field of Triumph and, Cassalanter Entertainment negotiated how the power, how the like finances and power in this entertainment guild would be distributed.
Okay.
Well, specifically, not as much the guild itself. So that's interesting. The kind of distributing of power there. It's, like, this document talks about the 3 rosters and free agents. The 3 rosters being Triumph, the Bazaar, which, was apparently founded by the E.H. Sharbasani, specifically someone, named Ionescu, Ada Ionescu, and then there is the Divine Comedy, which is directly managed by the Cassalanter Entertainment Guild, whereas the other 2 are managed by the Fields of Triumph and this group of like more like lowborn, like folksy entertainers. And then there are the free agents, meaning that any wrestler does not need to sign up with one of the rosters in order to participate in the stories. They can instead sign up for individual matches or have individual contracts that are like fully that are free to jump between. But that's like you just that's what you find is just various stuff, nothing you were looking for.
Nothing else looking for. Okay.
No. You haven't scoured all of the files, mind you. This was like a single cabinet.
Yeah. But half an hour on one cabinet. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, these are very packed full. Like it does. Like there is no differentiation in the organization between current employees or people who have worked for you occasionally, or independent contract. Like they're all just in together, just alphabetically.
We need a new system. This is okay. You know what? Make a note of that for next time I can bother to do that. I will. You know what? You said a show is starting, will be happening today? Is that correct?
I think there might be one. Yeah.
All right.
Generally, the shows are either on the third, the fifth, the third, the seventh, or the ninth week of the, or a day of the week, as numerology and all that garbage for the divines.
Can I know about that?
Make a religion check.
Great. I like doing that. Good at that one. 14.
Yeah, I mean, you would 3 with a 14. You probably wouldn't recognize what 3 means.
The Father and the Son and the Holy One.
No. But the 7 is there are 7 tiers to Mount Celestial, and 9 there are 9 layers to Bator.
Mm. So the 7 I don't know about.
No, you know about the 7. There's 7 layers of Mount Celestial.
Oh.
It's 3 that you're like, what?
3. 3 for the number of shows they're doing that week.
It's more kind of a vague number of complete. How I understand.
Vague number of completion? I don't get that. I like even numbers completion. That doesn't make sense. Why would you stop at 3? You could have 4. Why stop at 3 when you could have 4? Why get greedy with 3? Why not stop at 2?
Go ask the clergy. I don't care.
Maybe someday. You know what?
Wait, no, it would be tomorrow would be the next possible show. It's probably prep though.
Probably prepping. That actually works more in my favor. You know what? This is.
Should I take the kids to a show? That
already
did not go well last year, actually.
Did it not?
The show at the Day of Wonders, everything went wrong. You know this. I know this.
I know.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
That was a year
ago. Point
ago,
is,
man. I'm a different man now.
Point is, let's keep it small.
Yeah.
Simple, just time with the kids.
That's all that matters. That's all I. Okay. You know what?
The receptionist probably knows where the next show is being held.
Yes, where they be.
It's not a big enough holiday for it to be the Fields of Triumph, so it's probably just a random ring, maybe a tavern. Could it even be a courtyard? There are a few
shakedown in the park.
I was going to say coliseums
Oh.
throughout the city. I'm aware that there's at least a coliseum in every ward that is officially sponsored by the Fields of Triumph. Everything outside of that is technically not legal, unless it's outside of the city. But
I had a moment where I had to think of like what it would be like to just be in a city that just has a coliseum, and then I remembered I used to live in a college city with a giant football bowl.
Oh yeah, no, I mean every single town at least has a football pitch, right?
Yeah.
So that's the equivalent of a coliseum, right? It's just a sports coliseum. A lot of them are very small. Some of them are literally just like the Dockboard Coliseum is literally just a like a pressed dirt floor, a sizable ring, but in like the bleachers are just like a raised wall, and then it's like the audience is roped off. It's pretty much just like a fight pit, like a fight club pit. And different sports can be played in there. But it's basically also just the official place for people to be able to do gladiatorial combat and duels of any kind.
Neat. Okay.
Because combat is illegal outside of places that are specifically sanctioned by the city. Generally, a lot of nobles just do honor duels completely illegally, and they're like, "Catch me outside! How about that?" But in order for an honor duel to be legal, it needs to be within the city. It needs to be in one of those sanctioned places.
Gotcha.
There is technically a loophole of if you go outside of the city's laws don't technically apply, which is why the Vistani H-Tar holds, or like the Bazaar holds most of their shows out in the harbor on barges because they don't have to pay the city.
Good for that. Nice.
That's largely why the Vistani H-Tar are kind of in charge of it, is because they have a fleet of barges and whatnot that they kind of have put together. Most of them have kind of left, like, you heard that a lot of them, like, it was a massive gathering of the Faerunian Vistani H-Tar fleet, that for, like, the first show they really did, that when the sport of wrestling was rekindled. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Take a deep breath. Today I've learned that I hate filing cabinets. Close it, and I go to the receptionist.
I mean, if hate goes that far, leaning against the door as you're kind of walking out, your reflection is like, has a hand out with flames coming out of their hands.
No, we're not, no, I appreciate
Boring.
it. Not today. Not today. We're busy today. Next time we can go and find a big old pile of filing cabinets. Inferno.
Yeah. You head back to the receptionist, and she looks back up at you.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. First off, here's the keys. Thank you again. We needed to ask. I heard that there was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that there is a show being set up for tomorrow. Do we know where that would be located today?
Just kind of flips through, hands you a pamphlet.
Huh?
Yeah, you kind of read the pamphlet. It's a generic pamphlet. Looks like it's like press printed. It's just
Got the formatting of a track.
No. It's like just divine comedy showing. It gives the location and the time and the date. It is tomorrow evening, pay-per-view.
What?
A pay-per-view.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot that's not just a TV thing.
No, that's I believe it's not just a TV thing.
Pretty sure. I mean, it would make sense that it's not, because like that's just another term for buy a ticket to be an audience member. Right?
Wait. No, it's a
D&D.
type of. No. Maybe it is just network TV, actually.
Okay.
Or webcasting. I mean, there is also a pay-per-view on there. And it's, like, really freaking expensive because it's Magic. But yeah, there's an entrance fee as well. But basically, like, if you're a noble or whatnot, you can just pay to have the illusion of it just cast into your, private ring or whatever.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Just a wizard, like, mages just come, or maybe just Nether Crystal, but like they come to your place and just set up like a thing that casts like minor illusion a bunch of times,
Oh my gosh.
or probably major illusion for sound.
I like
No, you know what? There is both. There's one for minor illusion that you can just watch it without sound, and then there's like, it's like a it like stopped. It has subtitles like a old timey movie.
Oh my god.
And and then there's one that has sound built into it that's more expensive.
Oh my gosh. Silent film sports sounds like the most aggravating thing. Announcer, like, I like to imagine that like long ago in Waterdeep they still had that thing of like children will learn to recite poetry as the form of entertainment, and one guy was like, wait, we could use wizards for this.
Yeah. So you know that it's happening tomorrow, and you now know the location. This one would be, this is in the North Ward.
North.
Yeah.
Northward to the north.
You would know, that so far, the majority of the shows have been North Ward, South Ward. There's been a couple in the Sea Ward. Those are normally, like, the highest entertainment stuff. But actually, I think the Sea Ward's Coliseum is the Field of Triumph. Oh. I don't know. But, yeah, it's in the North Ward. In the Coliseum, the North Ward Coliseum.
Great. Well then. I say my thanks and farewells, and I think I'm gonna go to the Northward Coliseum.
Yeah.
That feels...
Yeah, you head to the Coliseum. You drive up that way, and it takes a significant amount of time. It's probably like at this point, maybe mid or late afternoon.
It's bad. Oh, okay. Fine.
As you head to the Coliseum, the North Ward Coliseum. It's it's kind of like a nicer Coliseum with buildings are built up around it. Mostly taverns are kind of built up around it. There's essentially like an apartment complex that is built up, like, that has stadium view and rooms and whatnot. Yeah, you see wagons with the Cassalanter Entertainment logo. Like unloading and like equipment being brought in. You notice that there's kind of a variety of that the people here are make an intelligence saving throw, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm rolling a lot of 10s tonight. That's 12.
Okay, yeah. You vaguely recognize some of them as wrestlers and workers in the Divine Comedy.
Great. Do I happen to see Natalie and...
Not in the loading dock.
Not in the... Okay.
Yeah. Like, this is you from the parking lot, essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, I say parking lot. This is, like, an older city that wouldn't exactly have a parking lot, but from the street.
Yeah. There's some parking. It's a parking sum, not a parking lot.
No, it's just a street. There is no official parking. Because, like, most of the time it's just, like, coaches and cabs, and when it's a coach, it's like, oh, yeah, sir, I'll come back for you when the show is done. Um,
Makes sense. Honestly, not not having birthday cakes, uh, con. Not having parking lots, pro. That's a good one.
yeah. Um, we hate urban sprawl here.
Me too.
Yeah. You could drive the Aethermobile over to the loading dock if you wanted.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Do I need? Yeah. Probably better to get closer.
Yeah. As you come closer, they look over at you, and kind of like some of the workers just kind of look at the car and just keep working. As you yeah, as outside the loading dock, like there's just the people kind of loading and unloading and whatnot.
Great. Cool. Once I found a good enough place to park, I need to think. Having been a ringmaster several times myself, do I happen to know where that training or that preparation work for tomorrow would be? Would that just be like in the middle of the Coliseum?
Since it has to set up the probably not, so that it can keep like running other shows, unless it's like a really big show. It's normally like they just take the stuff into the storage and then they set it up for the like on the actual day. That's why the shows tend to be in the evening, because that entire day is set up.
Yeah. Okay.
That's I should have made you roll for that, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, who knows? We'll never know if I would have known. 13 plus whatever.
So, what do you do?
Best of rolls all night. Okay. So I think I'm going to go to where Ringmaster prep work would be, I guess.
Yeah. As you head in, you kind of like standing near the performers like locker room, essentially. You see a like fancy dressed very human looking person, except their skin is or actually maybe like half elf or elven. Their skin is very dark, almost gray. Their eyes are a vibrant crimson. They have black hair and black horns coming back, but they don't look like they're not. They're more like subtly tiefling, rather than it being like full tiefling. Next to them is a very buff-looking, red-skinned man with glowing tattoos and glowing and black tattoos. The glowing is like embers. His hair is long and braided. His beard is long and braided. His horns are going straight forward and have similar like black, almost tattoo kind of designs around them. They're the same color as his flesh. Unlike the like kind of fancily dressed person who has like a green green vest, red tie, black shirt, black coat with golden golden trimming on it. This person has actually whites in their eye, and more like naturally colored eyes, whereas the fancy dressed person has just full crimson sphere.
I know I did fully think you were gonna say that the middle guy had his horns long and braided. It's like, how do you do that? You gotta boil them first.
Inside the locker room, you see someone like who's just kind of very, very muscular, has has pelts coming off their back, much more kind of like Greek god kind of energy, but has they have like angelic kind of tattoos. They're much more elegant kind of wings, whereas the like large tiefling man they're more like kind of tribal Nordic kind of feeling, whereas the ones that this that this human has are much more like ornate kind of cathedral feeling. Almost actually more like almost Elven or Grecian, I should say. Whereas there's also another person who is wearing a pure white wrestler's mask with a tattooed, like ornate, very this one is very like Gothic cathedral looking, 8-pointed star of Lythander, and is much more like traditional, frickin'
Yeah.
not matador. Oh shoot, what's the Spanish wrestler, the Mexican wrestler called?
Oh, luchador.
Luchador. Yeah. Very luchador.
Nice.
As you also see some other wrestlers inside. There's clearly other people inside, but those are the people you can make out. And like as you kind of walk by, they kind of look over and nod at you. As the like gray-skinned tiefling man kind of like looks over and gives you a tip of his hat. Welcome back. It's good to see the devil himself back among us, huh?
Oh, good to be back. Now, what's this guy's name?
Make an intelligence save.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. 11.
You do know that this is currently the full roster of Divine Comedy. Is these 4 wrestlers? 11. Ooh, you aren't extremely certain.
Okay. That's totally fine.
You do know that he goes by, like, when he gets introduced, the title he's introduced with is Son of the Devil. Or Son of a Devil, I should say. Whereas, the, like, buff guy is Son of a Demon. The, buff human with the, like, more Grecian style, is Son of a God. And, the, luchador is Son of an Angel.
Okay. Neat. It's good to be back and in the presence of the sons themselves. Fantastic. See you all. Listen, I've heard about the replacement ringmaster that's been working the last 10 days. How's she been doing?
Oh yeah, she's been great. Real, keeps on same beats, kinda shook things up a little bit, though. I wasn't exactly, I mean, there's been a lot more, improv magic. I'm not exactly complaining, as, well, the lower planes have definitely been getting the upper hand in the past few matches.
Interesting. You know what?
He, like... Actually, wait.
Oh boy, okay. What's happening? Oh no. You're thinking about if I can...
yeah. He just kind of looks over at you as the son of a demon kind of kind of turns and then goes back into his room and like grabs the what at first just looks like an axe, and then you realize it's an axe. A guitar with axe blades coming off the side.
Oh.
and just starts beginning to kind of strum it as it magically, like, reverbs. Essentially, it's an electric guitar, is what it sounds like through, like, thaumaturgy. As he just kind of begins to do some simple, extremely simple music. Love
it, love it, love it. Oh, I love it. Do you happen to know where she would be at the moment?
Hmm. Probably making sure the stage is getting set up fine. Well, I mean, everything's in the right places. No. Probably overseeing from the midpoint. Yeah. Not entirely certain where the stage manager booth is in this place. I think that it's over there. Gestures down a hallway.
All right. Well, I'll go take a look. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Never really asked a lot of permission.
What?
I don't go to the stage managers a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of waves you off and then walks into the frickin' locker room, as if the misunderstanding was entirely your fault.
Makes sense. I wouldn't put it past me. Oh, I hope that guy likes me. He's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you open the door and there stands a woman with a teal streak in her hair. And she's wearing like very like white outfit, like a white jacket on top, and looks back. Oh. Well, fancy having you show up.
I was going to say the same thing for you. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
What is? I have to know. I've been asking around. You've apparently been doing a great job as ringmaster. How did that start?
I think it started with you losing a hand.
Yeah.
Someone's got to run the show while you're gone.
I do appreciate that. Goodness, it was just such a surprise to me. It's fantastic. How have you been enjoying it? What's been your method? I've heard you've been adding some improvisation, some like narrative flair. That sounds fantastic.
I've been adding improvisation, yes. The stories, well, I kind of felt that maybe, considering with all this noble shenanigans going on again, all that hullabaloo that I know you were probably involved with, considering what, Alwina passed away in a tragic accident, and you were quite keen at getting in on Alwina's business that day, if I remember quite right. So, with all that going on, I thought, why not bring back the old story? The storyline that was going on until, like, just the end of Christmas with... Not Christmas, just the end of winter.
There you go.
Just the end of winter with the...
the birth of Christ.
With the birth of Christ. You know, the storyline where we brought a new god to this world.
Okay.
Around the end of winter, beginning of spring, where we wrapped up that storyline of the nobles being all demonic. Well, I say we. You wrapped it up. I think That would be a good thing to bring back.
I don't hate.
You remember that show, right? I was
Remind me, it's been a while.
Of course,
And I've been
yes.
through medical trauma, so I need to. My brain is all
And
over.
as she begins to remind you, that's where we're gonna take a break. We will be back on the hour. So 20 minutes from now.
Cool beans.
Okay. Sorry we took a little bit longer than expected. I'm supposed to be the evil one. You're supposed to be the nice one.
Well, yeah, we're not in character, are we?
Oh, so we're playing the inverse of reality then? Oh.
I don't know. I can't keep this straight anymore.
Yes. So, anyone just joining us, we are going through a backflash. We are entering into a backflash, Ethan. You don't really need to know what happened in the first part of the session to understand what's going on, so I won't bother with really a recap.
Figure your own dang self out.
Actually, do we want to do backflash framing device, like true backflash, or storytelling framing device, where it's it's Natalie and Voltaire talking to each other about this event that happened a while ago, and then one of them can be like, I don't think that's how it went. I think that adding that framing device might muddle.
I think that complicates it.
Yeah, I think it complicates things too much because we're doing other backflashes in this. Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
It is spring. The spring of 1492. And it's a plowing and the running. The plowing and the running is a week-long celebration, I think? Plowing and the running? No, it's a
Sorry, what's it called?
The plowing and the running. It's from the 6th through the 9th of Myrtal. Nice. And it's a sport about it's a 4-day celebration of competition, specifically races. This particular celebration is having fun? This particular celebration is a celebration of the well, this particular celebration as it pertains to the Divine Comedy entertainment is that during this 4-day period, the wrestlers will progressively have a race, essentially a tournament where they go from Coliseum to Coliseum until they eventually make it to the at each Coliseum they'll have matches. They're normally unique, like, race theme matches, but they're never just like a foot race or whatever. It's still a bunch of wrestling. As they're like eliminated from time in each Coliseum until on the last day they have a match at the Fields of Triumph, where the Lord and the Lady of Triumph are decided. This is particular match was on the 3rd day of the plowing and the running, when the race had when the competitions had been brought to the Fields of Triumph. I actually misspoke. It's not them linearly going from one Colosseum to another. They're racing to get the most accolades. So it's basically there's like a leaderboard, and it's like, okay, so now you need to wrestle this particular person. If you can wrestle them, you get their accolade. It's like gym badges from Pokemon, except the challenges are really varied. Like sometimes it's a foot race, sometimes it's just straight wrestling, sometimes it's like wrestle this monster. But it's a race to have enough accolades to become the Masked Lord. This particular thing, that is, you're currently just like in the Ringmaster's office is understating it. In the Fields of Triumph, you can oversee the entire thing. You can see the freaking mechanical workings that are built under the Field of Triumph, and you're just kind of looking over what is happening. This
what is happening?
This competition, the one in the that video lagging happening on the stream.
Oh, let me see. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think that's actually in the hardware, not the internet. It's happening on OBS as well. I think we might be past it now. But oh well.
It looks like it. Yes.
Okay. In this particular competition is to get the accolade of the Divine Comedy. Each of the rosters have their own accolades. The Bazaar accolade, the Triumph accolade, and the Divine Comedy accolade. The first day was the Bazaar. The second day was the Triumph's accolade, and then the third day was the Divine Comedy's accolades. As you are it's also a continuation of the story that has been going for the greater part of the past year. Actually, just about half of the past year, since the formation of the Cassalanter Entertainment, and therefore the official wrestling. This is the first plowing and the running of this entire show. The first race to the race for the masks that has ever come about. At the moment, there is not a lord nor a lady. The lord and lady of Triumph have been kind of mysterious figures that have just been introduced in this this week, with the Lord apparently being able to just show up and change the rules of the game. Just declare that the rules are now different.
Wild. Okay.
And the lady of Triumph, able to challenge anyone, or able to challenge anyone to a challenge of any kind. Whether it be directly to her, or, well, this entire time, it's instead been to someone who has accepted to be her second, her champion. And, so far, you have seen people attempt to resist this challenge. However, it appears to hinder them mentally, and they have all each ended up losing their match as a result of losing their next match as a result of disobeying the ladies' challenge. This particular story, however, you are thinking about reflection. Now, one thing that could be interesting. Conflict. We seem to represent different things amongst and why not have that conflict there a little bit? You are a goody two-shoes who likes to help the church in a more direct way. Would be a good way to predict that, to show that ahead of time. I can be the villain, as I always am, but I can also be conflicted. My priestly upbringing, perhaps getting the better of me. Internal conflict as much as the external.
Yeah. Sounds great.
After all, the ringmaster of this roster has been helping the nobles, the fiends, for the entire storyline. Perhaps it's time for the underdogs to get some help. The ringmaster themselves taking a face turn, perhaps. Or perhaps flip-flop. Many face turns and heel turns in the same night.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I can't do this. I can't. This is
You... I can. I've done this countless times. I have the perfect energy for it.
There's so much I don't know where to put.
I have fought demons. I can do the show.
Yeah.
It's a simple show.
Demons without an audience. This is so. I'm terrified right now. This is I have not. I don't know what to do for
Terror, adrenaline, nerves. That's just driving to the victory. I shape those nerves. Lean into me. Gain some glory with it. Turn that chaotic beating of the heart into a driven force. Force give you show. They'll love me. They'll love me. They always love me. Plus, maybe I can use that little confliction inside myself to show the confliction on stage.
It's not.
Just be yourself. Be a goody two-shoes.
Don't call me that. I don't. Fine. Yes, fine. Whatever works. We'll get it. Get it done. We'll get it over with.
Come on, fella. I got this. I'm a star. As he's been calming you and as your reflection has been essentially pep talking you, go ahead and take a bardic inspiration as your nerves are kind of trying to channel them and think on them. Before anything goes down, you gotta come up with a story. At least a little bit.
Okay. Story. Alright. I like the idea of underdogs coming up. I think that's a good one to go with.
Crusade finally win. Now,
What?
the Crusade finally win. They bring down the nobles.
Yeah.
Get their support out from the fiends.
Mhm. Yeah. Do we?
After all, the Crusaders have been completely unwilling to cheat and attack the fiend wrestlers, whereas the nobles have, by all means, constantly been a thorn in the side for the divine.
Okay. What do we think about? What do we think about a double agent type of deal? Like one side has like a member that suddenly has a turn. It's like I don't know which side would be more interesting to have that on. Maybe both. Who knows?
Mama's been bouncing back and forth.
What? Oh, right. Him.
Your mama, self-serving. At least that's what it seems, and though he spends much of his time is carousing with the nobles, he'll turn if things get him in the right fancy.
Sure.
There's plenty of the jobbers, and I mean, seeing as how the actual Lords of Waterdeep are acting, I don't exactly see the Lord of Triumph stepping in.
No. Let's see. I'm interested in. Okay, with your mama. That's not he's got with his flip floppy nature. I think that could work for something like sudden like if he's been working off of like self-serving needs, maybe like a selfless change of heart at the very last minute for
No. We need your mama to be an amazing heel. The Fields of Triumph aren't allowing us to change that.
Okay.
He has to stay a heel so that his rival, the half-orc all-star, can beat him up with a guitar.
Gotcha. What a sentence. Okay, sure.
We can change anyone within our own roster, or even jobbers we bring in.
Sure. Let's see. Who do we have on our Crusader roster?
Makes perfect sense for the Crusaders are all jobbers. They have basically no names. Pick one out of the hat and you can add them in. By all means, we could actually get actual Crusaders. I mean, there are some Crusaders who work in the Field of Triumph. I believe it's possible we could get the Golden Knight himself, Sir Nikolai. But it's been a while since he's been in the ring.
Yeah, something tells me that guy would go overkill.
I've never seen him in a squared circle. I believe he was mainly a jouster. He threw golden swords at people as well.
That's insane. But maybe not that. Who knows?
We do have. A popular crusader, in fact. What was her name? She's coming up. She's mostly just done things in the ring, but she's been endorsing the Crusades recently and even saying that she's in them. What's her name? What was her name?
I couldn't tell you.
It's half orc, pink hair. Catazar Nimbled Up. That's her name.
Have I met her?
I couldn't say.
Whatever.
But she's been in the ring before. She's been in this very Colosseum, never in a squared circle.
Great.
It could work.
So we've got someone who has Crusader training or
Someone who
Crusader
could...
reputation and also wrestling training.
Exactly.
She knows how to handle herself. She understands.
If it's timed right, that could easily break the balance, and that might call for a Yo Mama face turn. Well, face turn.
Okay.
And I will be able to be conflicted and flip-flop throughout the time. Aiding the fiends or the angels as I see fit.
Okay. Yeah.
Or we're wanting to decide on a victor.
Oh, I think...
After all, this is going for the accolades, so deciding that ahead of time might be...
I think the Crusade should be the victor. And end it with a nice little bow of like, and the Crusade triumphs over the hells. And should you wish to be a part of such victory, why not donate now to blah 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 blah.
Yes, but no, I don't like it. What I do think is good is them defeating the nobles. The Crusade will victor over the nobles, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the 4 wrestlers themselves.
Oh, okay.
Which of the sons is going to become the accolade, is going to get the accolade? Or, I mean, it's possible that one of the guests from elsewhere would get it, but surely it's one of our roster. I say we leave that up to things. If it's an overall victory for the Crusades, that's fine. I think that's a grand story. But what is there to crusade against if the angels defeat the fiends?
Yeah, good point. So, winning over the nobles, then. Let's leave it.
They win over the nobles. That's the story.
Yeah.
Grand story. But I think we leave who wins the actual accolades up to the wrestlers themselves. A final, uninterrupted, since the Crusades are all hoity-toity, not willing to cheat.
Yes.
They'll stay out of it. We'll have a clean match between the 4, and maybe open doors if people want to walk in.
Okay.
Extra challengers, as it's technically, we are supposed to leave it open for the other rosters, specifically for the free agents to be able to get the acolytes for Divine Comedy. Otherwise, we'd just be handing our own acolytes to someone within our fairness and all that.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Leaving it up to chance at the very end. I think that could work.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Show going.
All right.
Okay. As yes. So I will use a plot point to start. As the show begins to start, the lights go down and then spotlights begin to come up as Voltaire steps out. As I step out onto the ramp. I'm wearing a black suit over a white shirt. And flanking me, following behind me is a group of nobles. As I step out and kind of violins and whatnot start to play, I'm kind of walking down and chin up, kind of like going over, like walking by and giving kind of finger waves at particular people in the audience as along with me walking down is a very fancily dressed, very flamboyant half-orc with white hair and colorful makeup steps down and ends up like full-on flirting with someone in the audience, someone who is very clearly there with a partner. Would you like to add a complication to that entrance?
Yeah. Said partner gets a little too rowdy as that whole presentation is happening.
Yeah. So like as they're doing that, like the half-orc like kind of like steps back as that's happening. I shoot a look over. And what can I say? One's born every minute. As as I'm like, go ahead, young mama. As the half-orc looks back, grabs the dude, and pulls him out from the audience over the like banister.
Okay.
Just begins to walk him in. As like we walk up and I like I'm kind of waving to everyone as very hoitily as I get into the squared circle, step up, and the nobles bring this other nobleman into the squared circle, and as I like step up onto one of the ropes and hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Divine Comedy. Heaven and hell are fighting, aren't they? As I like go back and like hit the noble, and some people are saying, like I lean on his shoulder, us nobles are behind it. Us nobles are with the fiends and all that garbage. What true noble, what true fiendish sort would be giving so generously to the Crusades? You can control the NPC that you, like the partner, since like you added them through complication. Come now, friend. What logic would be in that? Why would such good-hearted seaward noblemen, why would they scheme in their glamorous villas?
Says that guy.
The guy in the ring. He just like boos in my face.
Not in the face. I think he like turns to the audience.
Like he's trying to get the audience to boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say like go ahead. He's like a like look up. You can use noble stats for him.
Yeah, I'll use noble stats.
And yeah, that'd be a performance check.
Let's see. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Noble. So that is. So I'd be adding 3 to that 15.
Okay. Yeah. Like, he's like getting them to boo, and they're beginning to boo up. the nobles are kind of like standing around and they're like, humph, humph, like very like over the top, being like, oh, shocked and like, how dare, scandalous. Something like,
dampen my escort.
My people, you hurt me. What kind of city would turn against their most generous donors? I don't see your crusade. I don't see your people's heroes, your little people out here. I see the people with the money, the people giving their all. That's who I see out here, helping along. Well, I kind of like turn to the fellow. Go on back to your seats, and I pull out some golden dragons, drop them into his I pull out some golden dragons and just drop them at his feet.
Hey, grabs this.
Have a good time, and careful of your mama. His eyes are on. As I turn and I'm like, well, I do believe that we have a show to get going. What is it now? The accolades of the divine comedy. We shall see who gets them tonight, who goes on and is able to go against and challenge the masked lord and lady for their masks. So, come now, wrestlers, shall we see you? As, fire begins to flicker around the stage, like, coming forward. As then, lights begin to, all light kind of dies out as then, like, a underlighting pops up as a person in a, like, tailcoat, with black tailcoat with golden trimming, and a green vest, kind of walks out. They have no, no shirt or tie on under it. It's just bare chest underneath. With, kind of, like, tight, kind of athletic, like, pants. Almost like yoga pants, are coming out. You can't go wrestling in an actual suit.
I know, but,
As, they're kind of stepping out. And they have a fedora on, their gray skin, framing their vibrant crimson orb eyes, their onyx horns going back. As he's beginning to wave, following, as he's, like, coming in, he looks, kind of, like, looks around and, like, walking with his cane, he, like, walks up to the audience, hits the railing between the audience with his cane as a ring kind of goes out, holds out his hand. As you can add a complication to his introduction.
Oh. What part of the cane did he hit the...
He hit, like, the ball. It's like a walking stick, like a fancy walking stick, so it's a ball tip. And he just hit that against the, like, metal railing. As if, like, a ringing would have gone out, and then he's holding out his hand to the audience.
As he's holding out his hand...
Specifically someone who has a drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than what I was gonna say. The ball on his walking stick just falls off or something. Like it loosens up. But
someone could grab his cane.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. As he's reaching out for a drink, someone is trying to see if they can like pull the cane.
Yeah, someone tries to grab his cane as he's gonna try to like wrestle it back from them. Go ahead and make an athletics check then. As
that is a 14.
Okay.
I am so stressed out right now.
Or actually, no, I got it backwards. This guy's the son of the... As, like, the announcer, like, kind of calls out, son of a demon, the one who... Wait, what? The one to tear the skies asunder. Fresh meat! As, like, he's coming in. What was the athletics check?
Oh, 14.
Yeah, as he's like kind of just like looking away, having like as it just straight out of his hand, and he's like, like kind of steps back. He's like, just begins like yelling at the audience. Do you know who I am? I am the great Spring-Heeled Jack, the fiend of this place. You will hear from my friends in high places. As he just begins like walking towards the audience, pulls down his fedora, and just very angrily like walks up, and then like gets up on top of the rope and kind of like gargoyle perches on one of the on like corner poles, and is looking down at the nobles. Friends! I'm glad I could make it to your soiree. It's a pleasure. As he like turns around and puts his arms out to the like one arm up to the audience while he's gargoyle posing, and the crowd just begins to boo.
Yeah.
As he just like as they do that, he just waves them off completely dismissively.
Good.
It's good having you. As I just go up to him, and then we just start having a completely unrelated conversation. Just like, yeah, is everything going all right? How's the show? But like, I'm acting it up like, how is it going? How's the show? Is everything in their correct positions? Like, as if I'm having like the most frivolous conversation with him. But it's that like completely unrelated, but quiet enough that no one in the audience would be able to.
Yes.
Like we're just kind of like mingling in the place. Like servants are kind of like bringing up drinks to the nobles and whatnot.
I think
the nobles are like throwing copper pieces into the audience.
Oh, how generous. Man, I don't know. I'd be cool with if I went to a show and someone threw out a dollar bill.
It's
I'd grab a quarter.
Not really a dollar. Yeah, sure. But as do you want to like have like one of the wrestlers walk in?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I imagine from the opposite end of the ring.
Yeah, or perhaps the Crusades. Yeah. But go ahead.
Choices. Weird guy comes in. Oh, he's big and strong. Boy, howdy, you wouldn't even believe it.
Yeah? Are you?
Yeah.
Is it the son of a god or the son of an angel? Or the son of Celestial, he should be called. Wait, no, Son of an Angel. Yeah. Because despite the fact that Mount Celestia is one location, everything from the upper planes are Celestials for some reason. Makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. It's like New York City and New York, you know. Yeah, I want to say Son of an Angel comes in. He, you know, trying to remember anything about the description of this guy.
I mean, you should have the document with his picture.
Is that his picture? I thought
the only one with a mask, and he's wearing mostly white.
Nope. Where is he?
He's on page 14.
I see Son of a God.
Page 14.
Page 14. Yep, I'm looking at page 14.
The Son of a God is the like Grecian-looking guy with like the fur on him.
The one I see. I don't see the.
Then look at page 15.
Page 15. That's a woman. In a big.
Weird. Okay. I'll just send you the pictures then.
Imagine the Son of an Angel. And
there you
that's
go.
what this guy looks like.
That's odd that you don't have all of them.
Oh yeah. It's nowhere on this doc. That is fantastic. Broad-shouldered man, arms like watermelons, several of interweaving knots and tattooed across his chest with a sunbeam across it, and the symbol of, let's say, the Lythandrian Church, I guess.
Yeah, 8-pointed star is the symbol. Yeah. So, like, rather than it being kind of the Celtic knots there, well, yeah. It's basically that, but it's 8-pointed star instead of a cross.
Yeah. Face obscured and white, eyes barely visible, only dark slots, sort of where human eyes would be. His face is featureless and drawing attention to his tight-lipped mouth. He walks in, striding up, and he points and says, "You who are in power in this city, no longer shall you have reign and dominion over the people of Waterdeep, of this world. You look for the people's champions. Look no further." And people go.
Yeah.
You know, the entrance music. That is in a bunch of stuff that I can't remember the name of.
Yeah. Are you saying that the Crusades are coming as well? Or is that just him, you're saying?
It's just him.
Yeah, okay. And was that your 3 plot points, or was that 1 plot?
That was 1.
Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, as he's, like, coming in,
That's my dog audible.
as he's coming in, there's his music is kind of starting, and then it just stops. His music just stops. Dead.
Oh.
And from the stage, you see the you look, it kind of looks back down, and the nobles begin to separate. The son of the demon is gone. What do you mean? There's no evil being harbored there. We are good patrons of the church.
Yeah. Keep your deceit to yourselves. The you hold yourself so proudly about claiming claiming to be on the side of churches and good. When the people of this city can see through it, can they not? And they're trying to garner cheers from the audience.
Yeah. As I mean, presumably cheers begin to start up, but I'm gonna use another plot point as or actually, I'd like you to make a perception check for no, I'm gonna use a plot point for this as kind of like as he's saying that very quietly, like dark music kind of comes back, and like the lights behind Son of an Angel begin to like kind of cut out, and then as Son of the Angel is still talking to the audience, completely oblivious to what should certainly be obvious happening right behind him, Son of a Demon kind of gets out and to the audience, kind of crawls out from the middle of the stage, comes up, and then taps on Son of an Angel's shoulder.
Whips around.
If
Michael Keaton Batman turn.
If it's so clear that people see evil, why don't you what's it called? Show your metal, huh? As he reaches out a hand, as then his hand goes and massively grows into a red furred arm, and the Son of an Angel gets kind of hit back towards the ring, as the Son of a Demon like takes his hat, throws it to the audience, and the Son of a Demon had already taken off his jacket and vest. As he takes off his hat, throws it to the audience, and then goes back under the entry stage. Oh, you could add a complication to that.
Not well hidden.
Well,
no, I guess that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The stage could fall out, so like he puts his fist down and then just collapses through or something.
Yep.
Yeah, as like he throws out his hat and like he like grabs it with his big arm, throws it out, and then like sets down his arm as it and then falls through the stage. And the like nobles get out and kind of like brush off the Son of an Angel, and they're like, come, I kind of get down there. Come on, my friend, that must have hurt. Why don't we get you up and on your feet? Come on. I like reach out a hand to him.
Slaps it away, and he jumps back on his feet.
What kind of angel is this, turning away the gift of the city to the church? This is a true horrible display indeed. As I kind of like get back up into the ring and just begin like talking down, as like the angel like turns to look at me, Son of a Demon is like coming out from under the stage and like lurking behind. Now, rather than like his arm is back, to just a human gray-skinned arm as he's like lurking behind, trying to sneak up on the son of an angel. As I'm just full on trying to distract.
Okay.
The guy should probably make a deception check to try to distract son of an angel.
Yes. Would that be contested, do you think?
I mean, I'd say you could probably set the DC.
Yeah.
However, wrestling storylines are a lot like video game people. Oh, must have been the wind kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Okay, that's fun.
Scared. I'm scared and it's scary.
That is a 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it.
As son of a demon is sneaking up behind son of an angel. As like he's like slowly sneaking up. Do you want to use another plot point?
Yes. I do.
Yeah.
Sneaking behind him is one of the Crusaders.
So like the Crusaders are like a group of people, like kind of like a mob kind of thing, much like the nobles. So like the Crusaders are like kind of, they could like start coming in. They're not exactly going to be sneaking as much though, I would imagine. Because
the way I'm picturing it is like the audience would first see the devil sneaking behind the angel, and then just a few feet behind, this guy starts coming out, and once he's like very much within the lighting, other Crusaders like start coming in from
they're coming in and like
the audience seats.
Yeah. As they're kind of coming in, the son of a demon kind of like looks around and then like rushes to try to get under the ring. Because the ring has like a curtain. It's yeah. So he's gonna try to like just dive under the ring at this point.
Yeah.
It appears that the Crusades have arrived. Huzzah! Huzzah! As I'm going to like get out of the stage and the nobles are gonna begin to disperse. And like go and like address the Crusades. It's a good that you're here. And I kind of begin to trail off as the I kind of like look back at this stage. Well, yeah, as I'm kind of doing that, like the angel is there, like standing like next to the ringed circle, and son of a demon is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, he came here for a match, presumably, so
what?
Being in the ring makes sense.
What?
Presumably, he came here for a match, right? Yeah. So, like, in order to win a match, you need to get in the ring and be like, challenger, come to the ring, or what?
Mm-hmm. And that's what he does. He gets in the ring. I don't know. You tell me if this counts as something that would require a plot point, but I imagine like as Son of an Angel is like climbing in into the ring, all the Crusaders from all around the arena just start like the only the only thing I can think of is like basically Gregorian chants.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Of like very ominous, holy
Yeah.
vibes happening
As
as he
he
runs and then
Yeah.
and but once he like makes his announcement of uh I challenge those that stand with the devils, those that that claim the name of holiness and righteousness, to face off against true power and glory, and show their true face. Who will face me? And as you finish that,
yeah.
the Crusaders like start in the same like wordless kind of thing, start going to the tune of like an infantry marching song.
As then boom, the entire like mat goes, and as like the angel looks down, then the mat rips open, and a massive like red furred gorilla with golden chains around its wrists. Actually, no golden chains. It has, like, big horns, kind of a scorpion tail, and, exoskeleton along its forearms. It bursts out of the mat, and, its large hand, like, grabs the head of the angel as it's coming out, as, I kind of look around, and then look to the bell, and begin to run to the bell. Because the bell needs to be rung for the match to start. So I'm, like, running to the bell. Which would be starting the match in a very unfair way. Because, like, you're supposed to square up at opposite sides of the ring.
Yeah. Ooh. I want to say someone like steps in the way of me, just
I mean, it could be a random crusader, or you could use a plot point to say who the last one is.
Yeah. I'm gonna use a plot point for I know a guy and just make up a dude. And this would be making up a crusader, correct? Or
I mean, it could be anyone, though a crusader would be thematic.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that.
Okay. Go ahead and describe.
Goodness gracious.
I can also roll on the table to see what made.
I'm getting there. Okay.
Yeah.
As I run to the bell, from below eye level, a morning star acts as a gate, suddenly swung out, held down by the beefy arm of a dwarven woman with a thick beard, dyed with dyed golden, similar to Nikolai. Her hair like gelled into an 8-pointed star.
Is her name Nicole?
What?
Nicole Constance.
No, wait. She has
Constantine.
She's a dwarf, but she's got like her makeup looks like acne that has makeup over it. And this is Nicole the Constantine. Uh,
Okay, so essentially on the roster is a comedic, like, almost,
so, sort of like a mascot type of.
kind of like an insult parody to Nikolai Constantine.
Yes.
Love it. So do I need to make the charisma check to see my relationship with her?
You know what? Sure. Yeah.
It's a
why
10, so she'd be indifferent to me.
not? Okay.
As yeah, I kind of like
Right.
stop. Come on! Come on, Constantine, the match needs to start!
The match will start when we're good and ready for it. I don't know why dwarven women have their voice crack.
Yeah, just
But-
like, I flick my hand at her, as then a referee like comes in and like splits up the fight and gets them to either side and
Yeah.
casts mending on the mat as the mat like mends back into place. And then the bell rings. As in the beginning of the match, kind of like the have you used all of your plot points now?
I think I have.
Yeah, so in the beginning of the match, it begins to go. Go ahead and roll for the angel, son of an angel, who
No, I don't have a stat block for him.
so at the bottom of the thing I sent you, he uses the, I believe, Brawler Champion stats.
Oh, I see.
Wait, no, he uses the High Flyer Champion stats. So just scroll down to the bottom there, and it'll show that. And then I am.
Sec. Ah, yes. There we are.
As yes. As the match begins, it's going to be an athletics check, versus athletics, but, or attack roll versus attack roll. But, as the match starts and the bell rings, the massive red gorilla, the Bar Lugra, vanishes.
Vanishes. Okay.
Yeah, because it can turn invisible. And then it does kind of like the mat kind of like presses, so like there's a chance to kind of see it as it does like kind of come in to try to surprise Son of an Angel. So I'm gonna say that's probably an advantage.
Definitely.
Athletics, or yeah. So you can choose either an attack or athletics from the angel.
Okay. Let's see.
As
I see abilities. I don't see.
it doesn't matter as I get a nat 20. It should like in the High Flyer.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Lifting techniques, charging attacks, ground.
Yeah,
stuff.
it has
Yeah,
in its skills it is proficient in athletics. And
Okay, great.
in the attack it has improvised weapon or unarmed, and you'd be using those.
Great. I am going to underline or bold those when I get the chance.
As yes, it doesn't really matter, as I got a nat 20, and like the ropes, like what some of the ropes gather as if they're like all three of them are in one large hand as it springs around and then kind of launches back and phasing into existence as its arm connects with the face of the angel. This massive gorilla just woof, clotheslines the Son of an Angel, before like jumping against the far ropes, jumping up and like backflipping before landing on the ground, already in a very advantageous position.
Okay.
As yes, you do have we both have a plot point again, I will point out. As this is happening, the as this is happening, the lights kind of burst again, and stepping out onto the stage with a power riff on a guitar is the son of a devil, this buff, red-skinned man with a massive bearded braid, and begins playing as he kind of steps out, and then looks at the Crusaders, like eyeing them, and then looks at the ring, and puts the guitar over his shoulder and begins sauntering up to the ring. As I just look at Nicole, cross my arms, and very clearly say something to her. The audience can't hear it, but I say, "What's the crusade going to do? Let another fiend in the ring while your champion's losing?"
I don't think she responds. I think she's just gonna try to take a whack at him.
Heading over to the wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah, so son of as he's entering in, I grab I kind of just vanish at this point as the ring announcer, well, it looks like a new person's entering in. It looks like the son of a devil, the devil bard with the two-sided axe. Phoenix is coming to watch ringside, and the Crusade doesn't look too happy about that. As, the Crusader are kind of, coming at him, and he just backhands one of them. As you have to remember, the Crusaders and Nobles are jobbers. Their point is to just be, an entire group of them is essentially, one wrestler. So yeah, they're, coming at him. As then, the Nobles kind of look around, and then, move into the ring, and, reach in to grab, and hold down the Angel. The Angel is now going to have, disadvantage on this next roll. As I'm attempting to pin, so that's an athletics from me versus, an athletics from you.
Okay.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Let's see. 17.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage, thank you. 15.
Okay. As, you were, I'm kind of pressing down as, I got a 14, so how does the Angel break the pinning? As the monkey is basically just, one hand down on his chest, trying to hold him down, and the nobles are, grabbing his arms, trying to keep him down as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a big hand on his chest, so I think Son of Angel grabs the ring finger and bends it upward and tries to pull himself out from underneath the hand.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. As the nobles are still harrying him, and the Crusaders are still busy with Phoenix, the son of a devil. As suggest a neutralizer be useful.
Yes. What is that?
You have... There's another person on the Angel roster who isn't in here yet.
Right. Yeah, okay. How do I do this? So imagine a zip line.
Yeah?
Coming down. Furs tattering in the wind behind him. Landing over. Superhero landing. Is the son of a god.
Ziplining straight into the rings from the rafters? It's son of a god, the subduer of beasts, both celestial and fiendish! It's Kevin Killer!
What a name. Oh, what a name. Okay. What does he do and use? I don't know. I don't know that he says anything. I think he's just gonna get in there and do him up real good and spooky time. What? That I didn't say any words just now.
Yeah, as Kevin Killer like comes in, like son of a demon kind of like steps back and like squares off with Kevin Killer, as they're kind of circling, and at this point Phoenix kind of like walks through, and like everything's beginning to erupt into absolute chaos, as all of this is going down. As you are, currently backstage, as you're currently, like, kind of backstage waiting, your reflection comes to you. Perhaps it's time I, show my confliction, a whole of thinking, dramatic, and then, out of the goodness of your heart, as you see all this chaos, and I can... maybe a match to disband the cults, to cast the nobles.
What do I say? What do I...
Just go to the stage, be conflicted, and start with a prayer. You're good at prayers. Start with a prayer. Say, what should I do? Oh, the gods I once served, or whatever bullshit.
Okay.
And then say it's time for them.
Okay.
I will be like that.
Okay. So... spotlight appears. There I am. Thinker pose. Holding on to my glabella. Looking out into the ring and then turning my face away. Perhaps this is where I'm supposed to be, perhaps it's not. The battle against, between good and evil, it ties deep within me. Oh, Lythan, gods I once served. Is it too late for me? Is it too late to change my ways? Can I return and be where on the rightest side of all? Or remain the devil that the world forgot? And then the end of that. I don't know how to wrap that one up.
like whispering from like below the entrance stage, you can hear your reflection's voice. Get the Crusades to chase off the nobles. Tell the Crusades the nobles' secrets so they can be chased.
Noble secrets.
Go to Nicole.
Alright, I go to I look up from the prayer. Big Disney prince swoop of the chest. Run to Nicole. The Constantine. I'm proud of that name. And do the. It's just quite enough that no one can hear. Like I'm trying to hide this from the other nobles. I was looking back at them and back to her, or whispering and see. I don't know what I'm doing.
And
off.
From under the stage, you can see your reflection giving you thumbs up.
Right.
Yay.
Quickly. I don't want to do this. Right.
Go ahead and make a performance check. To try to get the audience like on the side of the face turn. Go ahead and make a charisma performance. And remember, you do have inspiration, bardic inspiration.
I do. What die would that be?
A D6.
D6. Okay, thank you. Do I want? Yeah, I might as well. Okay. So 12 plus 4 plus that 3 for a 19.
19. Okay, yeah. As you very easily like the audience as you like stand up and point over at the nobles as Nicole turns ready to advance. The audience kind of like with your drastic point, a cheer kind of comes up. There's a few boos, but then it's mostly cheers.
Jump the shark.
As that's what wrestling is. It's always jumping the shark. It
has the same order.
Yeah, the Crusaders just like push forward and the nobles just like retreat. And then the coming down like as Nicole is kind of heading off, stepping out of the audience is a person with a big sword over their shoulder, pink hair, and a half orc, half elf, or a half gnome, as they step up into the ring and cut down into the ring as all of the wrestlers like separate. And she like speaks at them and like tells them off and puts her sword down and four-way chaos winner, take the accolades, raises her sword, and then the bell rings and the match begins. The match goes for a while. Kevin Killer ends up winning. Not an extreme surprise, as he is the leading wrestler in the roster. His only real match being the free agent Sheamus, who is the current champion of Waterdeep.
Ooh.
Kevin Killer stands in the ring, standing atop a pile of the other wrestlers, holding the accolades, as the masked lord and lady stand at the stage and give a nod. And that is where we'll end this session. Okay. Yeah. That was a grand time. I am going to quickly use the restroom, and then we'll be back for post-show. But I'll do the outro before I go. I would like to, of course, give the special thanks to the people who provide our music, to Vinsvept and Shane Ivers. They're both amazing. please go check them out. They're great. If you want to support our stories, give us more time to develop the stories rather than doing other stuff, please go support us on Patreon. We'd love to have you support us and make these stories better and allow us to make more things for you. Not only that, but if you support us on Patreon, you will get a higher membership tier in the Dreamscape Storytelling Guild, which allows you to play main characters in campaigns such as the hardcore games and whatnot, as well as gives you priority in the weekly games that anyone can play in if they join our Discord, which is also linked on this Twitch. All these things are. If you want to check our VODs, please go to our YouTube or look at the previous recent streams on Twitch. That is the end of the outro. So if you're hopping off now, farewell. We will have a post session.
Let's see. Okay, good. I had to make sure that he did not pause the stream so that I could speak. Folks, let me tell you about the joy that is the Dreamscape Storytelling Guild. It is a very lovely Discord server full of a bunch of incredible people. Players of all levels are welcome. Just a little info about like what you can expect when joining. First off, that dog sometimes makes an appearance. Hi, Jasmine. I miss you. And also when you join, you create a tier 1 character, which means level 1 to 3. Your choice of any of those 3 options. I recommend 3, just because higher hit points. You don't know where you're gonna find. But yeah, it's really up to you, and we. We work with you if you are new to the game. We're more than willing to help out new players and just get anyone we can involved with anything we want. They want and really bring out that community feeling. We think it's a good thing. And since then, I have not been allowed in Guatemala, and for that reason, I believe that I should be voted as the vice principal of the United Nations.
I need to go to detention.
It was a very self-serving conversation me and the audience had.
This was a fun session. Got to do more with the Entertainment Guild. You got to interact with wrestling somewhat.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's very out of my element.
Yeah, to be clear, the entire briefing that Gimmick had about the wrestlers was in the break.
Yeah.
Just because of how, as I said, we are doing other things. This is not our jobs. This is not our jobs yet. They cannot sustain us. So,
yet.
We're running up to the line on a few things, but yeah,
I a personal note, I'm very grateful that this was one of those one-on-one sessions where I wasn't sad at the end.
Yeah, we finally had a fun one-on-one session.
Well, we've had them before. Like when I nearly crashed a car.
Well, the beginning of it was fun. But didn't it get sad towards the end?
Probably. I must have blocked it out.
But
yeah, this was a fun one.
This one was real fun. And you got to experience some of the idiocy of wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah. It's I love wrestling because of how stupid it is. and I
Oh,
loved the hammed up prayer. That was great. That was amazing.
thank you.
Freaking Kevin Killer ziplining in from the rafters
I
is
saw-
so much his character. You got that
Well,
perfectly.
I'm glad because
He's
the only thing I could think was like, okay, so he's the son of a god. Where do gods come from? Up. Everyone else has been like, the devils have been like crawling underneath the.
I mean, the
going down.
son of a demon crawls underneath stuff because he's like spooky and stuff. But yeah, like it made a lot of sense because like the two lawful people, the son of a devil and the son of a angel, like both walked in like completely normally. Whereas the two chaotic ones, the son of a god and the son of the demon, both like went either under the stage or ziplined in from above.
It felt very fitting.
Yeah. Kevin Killer does have a Buster Sword as well. That he probably like was ziplining on the Buster Sword kind of thing. But yeah, he's very cocky, very like no nonsense. I loved so the two people that we had the most, the son of an angel and the son of a demon, actually have had the kind of the least characterization in the past. So actually getting them characterized a little bit of like the son of an angel being super boisterous is I love it. Because like Kevin Killer is very much not talking. He do things. And Phoenix is the same, but so we have like the ones opposing each other being similarly talky or just business. Which just means that matches between Phoenix and Killer are just gonna be like they get to the ring and then immediately just go they're also both musicians, I just realized.
Oh my gosh.
Technically technically the player of Kevin Killer, Unknown Entity originally played Kevin Killer. But
I thought it sounded familiar.
Technically the original Kevin Killer is proficient in Goblin as an instrument. It's really funny, but I don't feel like it matches the seriousness of this campaign generally. But I am definitely going to keep him as a musician.
If I run a session with him, he's gonna play Goblin. No matter how serious.
I mean,
what does that mean?
Dancing
Like a bongo,
Dancing with the Devil's
like
World. I don't remember, but the world of Dancing with the Devil needs to be serious.
Yeah.
And by playing a goblin like an instrument, ends up like completely objectifying a goblin.
Yeah.
Which in a story that is this philosophically focused, that's kind of a really weird beat to do.
Yeah. It's like, what are we saying about an entire species?
Yeah, what good Greek instruments are there? Because he has some like heavy like vibes.
I don't know. No, that is something I would have to research. That would be a very fun rabbit hole to go. I might study that later. That might be fun. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's the dorkiest thing I've said all week. It might be fun to study Greek instruments.
This was a really good session though. I do want to start like doing log sheets so that these characters can actually level up reasonably.
Yeah.
So as we're talking, I'm just going to get those as well.
I wonder how in universe the character of Nicole the Constantine like came about and got approval.
Well, I mean, okay, you have to remember the Undertaker, right? The Undertaker debuted in the same show as a giant turkey.
As a what?
A giant turkey.
You know, I can't
Wrestling is
remember
insane.
that.
A like a parody of a popular figure
Uh-huh.
is not outside the venue of,
Okay.
like, yeah, it kind of makes sense because Nikolai Constantine, I would like to try to like parse exactly why, like, is it literally them being like the lowest bar humor possible and they literally just made her like a teen, an angsty teen, because his last name sounds vaguely like teen? Probably. Because like the thing is, Nikolai is not a public figure. He does not like he was in the Colosseum, but he never like let people know his personality. He just get into a match, freaking wreck people, and leave.
Yeah.
And people just
feel
like they know that he's like essentially maybe a good friend, or maybe just like an accomplice of Argus, of Saint Argus.
Yeah.
But he's not real. Like, the only times that they've heard from him is him giving recruitment speeches about like, hey, like be a hero, sacrifice, blah blah blah.
This
so
is
like
basically an Uncle Sam character.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so like it. I imagine that Constantine is just a very one-dimensional, like, Uncle Sam, like, constantly spewing, like, really, really stupid propaganda.
Oh, golly. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's very fun. Oh, goodness gracious.
But, very, very definitely a lawful stupid character. Like,
Yes.
like the so lawful good that nothing that is vaguely evil, they're like, we can't do that.
Oh, his headphones are off. I can say anything I want. Balls.
No, I can hear you. I have
pregnant
earbuds for the call.
I forgot.
My headphones are for the music. Which I don't need my headphones anymore because we're not playing music anymore. But
Oh, I love the look we got going on right now. You've grown, big boy. Wow.
but I love the concept of having parody characters in comedy. That was a good addition.
Yes.
We can totally have we should have an Argus character as well.
Oh, it's a janitor.
What?
Angel of Cleansing.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
That could work.
When you
Yeah, that could
first
work.
Described
The thing
Argus,
is,
that,
the thing
all
is,
I could think was
I am
something
almost
janitor.
certain, like, yeah. I like the concept of, I love it. I love that. But
What do you got?
actually understanding, like, what's going on, and, like, seeing all this shit go down is great. Actually,
going down smooth.
the the There.
Just give it a bit. My hair looks like a headless vulture. Oh, I should get a headband with a vulture's head on it. I should get you that. Hair looks much more wiggly. Ooh, that'd be funny.
Okay.
Like a big unicorn, but instead of a horn, it's a vulture.
There's a log sheet.
What?
There's the log sheet I sent you.
Oh, lovely. Guten Tagen.
It's real cool to have this going down the way it is.
Oh no. I just remembered what the intro for coming back from the break, and I'm so sorry how much I got cracked up at the the plowing happening between the day 6 and 9.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love that holiday so freaking much. It is undoubtedly Terry's favorite holiday. Like, Terry is constantly with Terra. He's like, it's a plowing and the running, dude. Nice.
Get it? It's like
get it? No.
It's like a sex.
It's the sex number with plowing.
Whoa. I just look like a.
I don't know what the running means yet, but I'm sure it's sexual. It's like pineapple juice running down your face.
I was thinking of like 8 different things, but let's go with that one.
Beautiful. But
little here for Voltaire or
yeah.
Nice. Good. I've wanted to
So that we can
toss
actually
him into
have
Tales
him
from One.
leveling up, so that actually means something.
Yeah.
I believe that I already put in like the hours that it was played in and stuff.
Yes, you did.
For these, I'll try to like set up stuff
2 hours.
beforehand. Yeah.
Oh. No,
We played for longer than that, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're just gonna have each of those be like that, so that it's quick and easy to just go through.
Yeah.
You are still broke. It's important to note. You should, but remember to like cross out the levels 1 and 2 because you start at level 3. So when you're doing the checkpoints, you should have them. You're now gaining new checkpoints starting at level 3. So, at the checkpoints on the tier 1 row, you need to like basically replace the O's with just like dashes.
Okay.
For both first and second columns.
Okay.
And then the third is where you're marking your new checkpoints, so you'll put 2 X's. Replace 2 of the O's with X's. Then once that's full, you level up. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
2
and of course,
X's
yeah.
for 3rd level. Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, like, even when those level up, on that sheet, it's not going to level you up in-game. It's just going to be what level the character is outside of this campaign.
Okay.
Which, yes, by the way, in the Dreamscape Guild, it is completely legal for a DM to set their player characters at any level. It just means when they leave the campaign, they have to be their legal level. So,
which
you can totally use
refresher.
milestones in these games. Yeah.
It's lovely time.
A bit of a good session.
Bit of a good.
Not exactly like after the break. The second half entirely just fun.
Yeah.
Not that it was empty.
No.
But mostly just kind of like setting up the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can start. I will point out that you can start trying to get funds from the estate, right? From the Cassalanter estate to try to make your guild better.
Yeah. We might do that eventually. I don't know if we're gonna do that yet. Let's see. I might. I think I might. I think I just might, because I want it to be fun and crazy.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at that.
What?
But yes. Were you about to say something?
Yeah. Side note. Just remembered. At the bakery, when you said like what time, what time do you want the pastry sent over? Fully expected, like, and then the clock at the back of the room tick.
Oh, I completely forgot to do that. I should have.
Yeah. If you did, I fully would have just broken that clock.
In the bakery? I
had,
should have. Man, I really
I
missed
would
that
have had that
opportunity.
impulse. It was up. It was in there.
Really missed that opportunity. Frick.
Ah.
I mean, that was still in the notes of this session that I was supposed to do that motif. I just entirely forgot.
Well, you know what? It made me paranoid. Just the mere mention of time. So
Love it. Perfect. It's worked.
we have that. Voltaire does not like clocks.
Good.
He's just becoming more and more anti-machine. He doesn't like driving, and he doesn't like clocks. Who knows what he's gonna hate next? If he gets a mechanical hand, he might smack his hand. And be like, "Oh, darn you! With all your rusting. Oh, I don't want to give him arthritis too." Mine. Living vicariously. Oh goodness, this is an embarrassingly large thing of pistachio pudding, and I promised that other people were eating out of it too. With this spatula, it's not just that I have a bowl of pistachio pudding resting on top of a box of oatmeal that is not full of oatmeal. What is in that?
We will definitely use the building a stronghold rules for your guild hall.
Yes.
And yeah, completely fake shit up. Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, good time.
What? Like, you...
What happened?
Are there any, like, questions or, like, curiosities that you still have? I mean, like, not just... like, from the first half of this, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm... Natalie is such an enigma to me. First, how did she get the, like, I'm the replacement ringmaster? How long? That could not have been an immediate thing. There had to have been a process, or there was no process, and she just went in and was like, hey, I'm doing this now. Voltaire said so. I'm taking over for him because, you know, he's disabled. Or the whole thing about, like, what her house is not a noble family, but she's inheriting something. She's an heiress to... I wrote it
well,
down.
at least her last name isn't a noble last name.
Right.
Not a traditionally high noble last name.
But hey, you brought it up, which means it's something of note. And like every hint and bit of lore that you drop, I have no clue what it means or what to do with it, so I might just forget about it. Who knows? Also, we are getting closer to confirming the pronouns of the Nimblewrights. I got Jasper as they, them, which is... appreciate that I can write that down, because I know we've had days where we couldn't remember.
Yeah, no, I have it. It's written down in the
in
the one. Yeah.
Oh golly, I
believe it's written down. They're under supporting cast, not NPC.
Supporting cast.
Yeah, and basically, like, if it doesn't have it written down, it's because, like, I mean, you haven't asked, or anything like that.
I guess not. Well,
no,
I'm just gonna have to do better in the future.
So that you, whenever you DM.
Yeah. There is I did think of a song that I want to do something with. I'm still trying to figure out what. Now the question is, do I say it now?
Probably not, because we're doing the guessing game, right?
We are doing the guessing game, but it's a good song. I'll share it later.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Gimmick, for playing. This was a fun session. I'm glad that finally got to introduce a little bit more of the, like, wrestling. We did some of the more theatric stuff, like circusy stuff, in the Backflash, which I will be uploading the first half of that. I'm gonna try to do that tonight, in fact. And I think I'm gonna make a, I'm not sure exactly where I'm gonna put that. I think I'm gonna put it right before the birthday. Like, I guess I'll put that right before this episode. Special. That's special. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching.